So, hi guys, nice to meet you all this morning. My name is Kainoa, and today I will be delivering my senior capstone proposal presentation, which is going to be on microtransactions in the video game industry. So, before I dive into that, I want to introduce a little bit about me. I am currently a fourth year student here at UH West Oahu. I graduated from post-study high school in 2022. My program of study is creative media, and my concentration is video game design. So, four things I am going to discuss today is one, plans for my senior capstone project, two, a little bit about my thesis statement, three, my objectives slash rationale of the research conducted over the past 15 weeks, and four, address the significance of my proposed project with research. So when it comes to my thesis statement is the rise of microtransactions has shifted game design priorities from player experience to profit maximization, which in turn leads to predatory mechanics such as pay-to-win systems and artificial difficulty spikes. And over the past 15 weeks, after doing countless research and refining my capstone paper, started to realize that there is a huge market for pure passion project games that can be successfully made along with utilizing a healthy microtransaction system that allows the creator to gain monetary value as well. And in turn, by prioritizing player satisfaction over an aggressive monetization, developers can create communities that are more positive, sustainable, and ones that are willing to invest in the future of the game. So, regarding my senior capstone project, I plan on creating a game that implements a healthy microtransaction system and strive for a balance between offering optional purchases and maintaining a fair and engaging experience for all players. And the significance of this project would be one, by developing a game that rejects exploitate, exploitative microtransactions. My project becomes a statement on ethical game design, which would advocate for transparency, player-first priorities, and long-term community trust. And some future implications of this would be that games that prioritize fair, transparent monetization practices will likely foster stronger, more loyal player communities, which will lead to a more sustainable and long-term revenue model. And it would also give developers who uphold ethical standards will also gain competitive advantages from ones who don't, as players increasingly favor companies that they trust. And this project would also be significant to the video game industry because it would essentially challenge the exploitative monetization model by proving that ethical, skill-based game design can still drive success, which will set a precedent for more consumer respectful development practices. And some future implications of this would be market different differentiation. My project could possibly pave the way for a niche amount of games that are marketed specifically for the fairness and integrity, which will set them apart in a saturated market. And in turn, this will also gain traction with policymakers and regulation pressure, as governments will possibly increase pressure to regulate predatory monetization practices. And some data, so from accredited debt relief, they did a study on opinions on microtransactions, and although 68% said cosmetic or cares only, in the orange, we have a huge chunk percentage, 22% say that they dislike the pay-to-win monetization model and that it is oversaturated. And with that being said, I believe that my demographic is clear regarding who my intended solution is for. One would be gamers who dislike the current landscape of modern gaming, which in turn is gamers who would enjoy a fair, more complete experience rather than a cookie cutter and forced monetization experience. My second one would be game developers, so that they to show that you can be successful without having to go into the stigma of forcing monetizations onto your player base, and they would also gain a prototype model to reference or iterate on later. And my last one would be game design students here at UH West Oahu, to show that, you can still be successful without having to, you know, configure your game towards industry standards. Um, and my proposed solution would be a skill-based monetization-like game model that focuses on a transparent progression system and no pay-to-win mechanics. And my game idea would be a fast-paced 2D PvP arena shooter where progression is tied to performance, teamwork, and exploration, and not purchases. And with that, my preparation and process over those 15 weeks would be the pre-phase, which I would be conducting and planning out ideas for the original game and platform, and also figure out how to program a microtransaction system. And during the production phase, I would, of course, go with the production phase of the game, complete with play test, feedback, and story building if needed, etc. And post, I would eventually like to completely finalize the game and the microtransaction system and possibly release it to the public for a game test. And my deliverable, what dev platform and purchase system, I plan on creating my game through Unity game engine. Unity also has an in-app purchase system already programmed in the software, so I will most likely be using that. And the key thing is, for my game, I do not want to have a gameplay advantage to money, and players should always win or lose based on skill, not purchases. And in turn, what would this game do for the game industry? This capstone game would challenge industry norms by removing pay-to-win mechanics and offering a skill-driven experience. And in turn, this will prove that sustainable game design can prioritize player fairness, creativity, and community trust, while still offering monetization models through ethical alternatives. That being said, I would like to thank you guys so much for listening to my presentation pitch and any questions.